Hey beautiful people, it's MakeRainbows and I want to talk to you about my mini Derpstix. I'm going to talk a little bit about what they are and what the specifications are, and then we'll get to the nitty-gritty and tech of why these are so unique and what kind of things I enjoy doing with them. So these are a pair of double staffs, sometimes called ISO batons, made by Kristina from Derpgear. They are 13.5 inches and weigh in 4.5 ounces. They're made out of an aluminum shaft. It is 5/8 inch diameter, and it is the same shaft that's used for Kristina's amazing and iconic levy wands. The end caps come off pretty easily, so you can kind of change your color scheme. For example, I have the pink ends with the pink balls, but if I wanted to maybe take some of these off, I could switcheroo so I can have one that has just the pink balls and then just the purple ones, so they're really easy to switcheroo. They are also compatible with the Derp puffs, and if you have the cosmic end caps that have the lights in them, they do also work on the mini Derpstix. They are available in a bunch of different colored tapes, so when you order a pair, you choose 2 tapes, and then Kristina will mix them in the desired format. So she has 2 styles. This is the ombre style. So the tape is going from a pink to purple tape, and as the colors are transitioning, you can see they're kind of spiral into each other. The reflective style has one color on one side, and then if you rotate it, we'll have another color on the other side. And then Kristina adds little tiny details of your choice to them. So I asked for little turquoise stars, so here they are, and mine happen to be UV reactive and glow in the dark. You can ask her to put your name or your favorite character or something really cute and fun to make sure that these feel personal and really special, and you can tell whose they are. They have rubberized end caps with a good grip, so really nice for contact work, and you can get them covered in contact grips, so like the same kind of silicone grip that you would have on a levy wand. I don't use my sticks with the grip on them, so I ended up taking mine off, but if you are really into like moves where you want to do a lot of contact work, you might want to keep the grip on. Most of the things that I really like about these sticks is because there's not a lot of sticks that are this length that you can do cool stuff with. And they are also very, very portable. So if you are going to a venue that has limits on props that you can bring in, always verify with the venue because places have different rules, but you might be able to break this down because it breaks down into 12 inches and maybe put it in a bag that has limited size based on venue, or it might not get recognized as like a projectile or a prop if you're going into a certain place. So you might be able to take these somewhere where you weren't able to take maybe your levy wand because it's long and you need a quiver. And so these are really portable. I stick them in my backpack for work so that I have them. And I also like that because they're small and short and light, you can do a lot of seated work with them. There was a long period when I was recovering from treatments where I wasn't able to stand very long, and the surgeon said I couldn't lift my arm past my shoulders and I wasn't supposed to lift anything that was over 5 pounds. So I was like, well, what about big flow arts movements? I like moving my arms. I wasn't able to, so for many, many weeks, I loved having these that I could do light seated flow that wasn't like raising my heart rate or overdoing my system. And I really enjoyed having these while I was recovering. Another reason that I really like these is because they're essentially kind of like half of a levy wand. So this is a 30-inch levy wand. Most levy wands are about 28 to 30 inches long. And then these are the Derpstix. So we're used to seeing 28-inch staffs. It's a common like diameter for tech hoops, juggling staffs, baton, levy wand, regular double staffs. It's a studied length. We're familiar with how that length moves. It's related to the length of our arms. So like in terms of choreography, you know this length. We've seen this length in flow arts. So imagine having this length, but being able to break it in half. So this allows like amazing dexterity in terms of grid work. So if I do grid work with this levy wand, here's my box. But if I'm doing grid work with one of my mini Derpstix, where there would only be one big box for the levy wand, I can set up a box here, I I can set up a box here. I can set up a box here. So where there would only be one grid using a long staff, you can have lots of grid spaces using the shorter staffs. And so if you're doing like moves where you're maybe cascading pivots and folds, let's say that I was doing bouncing isolations with the levy wand. So in this frame, I would really only be able to do 3 lengths of the levy wand. But if I were to do the same mechanics with one of my Derpstix, I could go whoop, 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 whoop. I'm isolating point after point, but because this staff is twice as short as a long staff, you get lots more places to have breakdowns and take the grid work to a whole other level. I also found these really cool because when you're doing certain movements, I'm sure you're familiar, your wrist gets to the point where you either run into your upper arm or you can't turn your wrist. So let's say that I wanted to do just an anti-spin box with my levy wand. If I were to do it the easy way, I'm holding it like this. Now my wrist's too twisted. I can't go in that direction. So we fix that by going through the negative space. So I'm gonna take my wand up, and instead of bringing it out this way, I'm going to bring it a little bit into this negative space so that I can unwind my wrist lower and lower. So yes, you can do an anti-spin box with a fixed grip with a long staff. But the longer your staff is, the more this point becomes a challenge because you're running into that bicep. So if I were to be doing the same anti-spin box in front of my face with the mini stick, fixed grip, that movement, because this stick is so short, is really not that dramatically crooked looking. So I found that I could do all these movements where I was framing my face and doing crazy technical work like grid work and not getting my wrists twisted, because if I want to rotate my stick and have it pass over my forearm and over my bicep, it's going to clear. Whereas if I were to try to do the same motion with my levy wand, it's going to get caught on my bicep. So it allows you to cheat a little bit and do endless anti-spin boxes without having to release your grip or twist your wrists and get all wrinkled up. So we also can do grid work by literally making corners, which I think is really cool. And you can also kind of lock these sticks into a fan formation. Sometimes I like to pretend that they are palm torches. So if I want to do like really big movements and just use them as an ornament to decorate my hand, they also do that. You can use them to do some poi mechanics. Here's a weave. So they follow all the rules of staff. They follow a lot of the rules of poi, but they also follow the rules of big sticks and also little sticks. I also really enjoy these for 2 sticks, 1 hand moves. I took the grip off of these so that I could practice these slide movements. And because the diameter of the shaft isn't too big, it's 5/8 inches, I'm able to hold one in my hand and still have control over the other one. So my fingers aren't really even that long, but the staff is narrow enough so that I can do moves like this with 1 hand and being able to control 2 sticks. I really love these. If you have questions or any comments about some of the moves that I do with these, please let me know. I will be happy to help. I'm hoping to put out some tutorials and ideas of what I do with my mini Derpstix in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. If you want to get you a pair, go to derpgear.com. Use my code RAIN to save some monies. And these are available as a dream item, which you would have to sign up on the wait list, but Kristina could make these for you in your specifications. To clarify, this is a dream wand that she made for me of the Spago theme. So it's like a super custom colored tape job. So these are available in the Dream style, but you would have to sign up on the wait list and to wait until she's ready for you. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you, and have a beautiful day.